Hello, my loves. Welcome to Be for Vibrant. My name is Kellyanne, and I've been missing y'all so much. If you haven't been with me before, I am very much connected with the collective consciousness, and I like to talk about it. I like to um, give everybody out there who wants to know more about your intuitive knowing, who can spot patterns of what's going on, but maybe can't always name what's going on, or is in like some inner child or inward discovery journey. I want to kind of tap into, what the drop in the water is that everybody's drinking from and name it and clarify it and help us all get a little bit of confidence with that clarity, with that confirmation of what we might already think we know, so that we can, make decisions from that confidence, make decisions from that clarity, and try and be better. Because that's what community is about, doing better for ourselves and for each other. So let's tap in. What I am bringing in to this episode today, after having been gone for a while, is relational epiphanies. I have been moving, and as you can see, I'm in a different environment. If you've watched my videos from a long time ago, you might notice that I'm in the same environment I used to be in. I'm back with my parents, and you know, the drop in the water of the well that we're all drinking from is not so far from what tends to happen to all of us at the same time in different little ways. So I know there are some of us who just moved, or some of us who just broke up or started new relationships, who had exes or no contact siblings reach out to us recently. And there has been a little bit of an upheaval of like, not only what do I do now that these people are trying to be in my life again, or I'm building a new relationship with somebody, or I'm restarting a relationship with these people, and even looking forward toward the holiday season, the capitalist holiday season, and Judeo Christian holiday seasons. We're looking down the barrel of being amongst a lot of relations, being amongst many of our relations. And that can be a cause for many relational epiphanies as well. And what I mean by relational epiphanies is recognizing that in your relationships, there are certain beliefs that you might have been tending to that aren't necessarily totally true and grounded in what's happening now. Like maybe there's a version of you who, you know, your family relatives who saw you 5 years ago or 20 years ago think is still the same you. So they're carrying around this old version of you that's essentially a zombie because they're long dead. That's not you anymore. You're a new you. You're a new version of you. And you have the epiphany, or they have the epiphany, the aha moment that, oh, this needs to be a different relationship now, and I need to show up differently because they're showing up differently. And maybe vice versa. Maybe you realize that, oh, somebody's trying a new version of themselves on. And maybe you've even started a new relationship from that foundation of like, we're trying this again after there was a trust, uh, a breach of trust, or I'm in a new relationship with somebody who has some really bad old patterns. And I want to trust them, and I want to be able to devote my love and my unconditional love to them, but I'm also wary. I'm on the lookout for that zombie version that they're trying to kill, that they're trying to double tap. I'm on the lookout for that version to rise from the dead. And be their default setting again. Relational epiphanies can also um, like bring us into contact with the um, the way that we have attachments to each other and in our relationships and in the social psychology world. We have attachment theory. There's dysfunctional attachment, there's anxious attachment, there's avoidant attachment. And I'm sure, just like the love languages, that doesn't span all of the ranges of the kinds of attachment styles that people can have. Because while there is also a healed attachment style and I forget what it's called, calm regulated attachment. I forget what it's called, but while there are all these terms for the ways that people respond to one another and respond specifically to bids for attention, there's such nuance. Because you might be anxious around one person who intimidates you, or you might be anxious around somebody who has always abandoned you because you're tiptoeing around them and you're waiting for them to leave again. And in other relationships, you, the same person that you are, might be the avoidant one and might get the ick from somebody else wanting too much of you, that you don't feel like you have that much to give. You might feel avoidant of conflict because the amount of emotional intelligence that you've explored in your life is either very little or has been too overwhelming to even circle back to. All of these ways of relating to each other are completely valid. We're humans in a messy, fucked up world. We're glorious, we're grotesque, and we're, you know, beautiful and perfect and ugly in equal measures. So I want to just like anchor us into this knowing right now of wherever you stand with all of your relationships, and whether you're a different person with every person or you have this sense of integrity that makes you show up the same no matter who you're around or what's going on. You have this very strong sense of self and you feel very solid in that. It is all normal. Let's just normalize it and destigmatize and take away any like weird feelings or shame or guilt that we might feel arise as we process just the understanding that we're different people with different people, and we're different people even to ourselves when we don't mean to be. You can have a whole conversation with somebody in your head and have the intention to confront something that's bothering you until you're in the room with them. And then the whole conversation is about them and you just, uh-huh, uh-huh, until it's done. And then as soon as it's over, you're like, oh, I was I was gonna say that thing, wasn't I? But there never felt like there was a good time, or there never felt like there was the version of me that I needed to be able to meet them with the energy of, hey, there's something going on and I want to talk about it. Hey, let's make it about me for once. It's all normal. We all do our best to relate to each other. And then we find that some of these patterns only exist within certain relationships. The drop in the well that we're all drinking from right now, as I'm, pulling from my experiences and from talking with multiple people in my life, is that we're finding new versions of ourselves, and maybe not new to us, but new to other people who used to know us, who think that they know us. We're finding that there are versions of ourselves that we feel very strongly about, and other people are bumping up against it. Other people, and maybe us, are having these relational epiphanies about how we relate to each other and the patterns that exist within those relationships. I want to explore this right now because while we have this sort of opening and we have this opportunity to expand into what that means, we get to practice confrontation. And confrontation is a really scary word. Confrontation brings up lots of ah, feelings for me, where I feel it right in my gut, and I tap into the times where I'm sitting across from somebody and my leg is shaking and bouncing involuntarily, or my hands are shaking and sweating, or I just feel the sudden need to shit out of nowhere. I don't need to shit, but I'm I'm in that sort of like flight or fight mode, and the first thing that my body wants to do is implode and explode at the same time. I want to collapse in upon myself, and I also want to escape out of my skin. and and confrontation might feel differently for you and your body. So as we explore this and as we talk about it, I want you to tap into where in your body the word confrontation starts to like trigger some sensations. It might be in your chest, it might be in your shoulders, it could be in your throat, it could be a headache, it could be in your ass, it could be a tingling in your feet, like a sensation like you want to get up and run. It could be a lot of different things. So just hold that information that you're sensing within yourself so that you can carry that with you. You can put that on a little mental index card in your mental Rolodex and go, "Oh yeah, this is what confrontation feels like for me." Because it's useful information when we find that there's something worth confronting. When we are in patterns of avoidance, whether out of the anxiety we feel about confrontation in general, or the anxiousness that we feel to connect with somebody who is maybe too passive, and you just want to know how they really feel, but they don't really even know how to express it themselves. So you feel like you're trying to talk to a puddle, and you know, you ask them how they're doing and they're like, I don't know, why don't you step on me and find out? Or maybe you know that you need to confront somebody who is really aggressive, who feels aggressive to you, but it's because they're direct and they don't use emotional language. So it might feel like you're the overly sensitive one when all you're trying to do is connect with somebody and find out how you can connect more deeply, or connect more respectfully, or connect more compassionately, and be better witness to each other's suffering and celebration. Confrontation is a concept that we need to confront in order to elevate beyond the relational epiphanies that we have. Because you can have an epiphany about a relationship that you're in and go, oh my gosh, I just realized that me and my brother have been doing this all our lives. Or me and this best friend, we have a relationship that mirrors what happens with me and my mom. Oh my gosh. Ah! For the first time ever, I'm realizing, epiphany, poof, a new understanding happens. Now what? It doesn't have to be today and in this moment. It doesn't have to be in the moment that you discover it, or that the aha, bursts a little bubble in your brain. But at some point, once you know better, we inevitably do better. I mean, for the majority of us. I am always approaching these videos and everything that I say with a good faith mentality, meaning I assume that anybody who's listening feels the same way. I'm always learning, and it's because I am willing to grow. It's because I'm willing to become a better version of myself through my relationships with other people. I want other people to reflect back to me the things that have been uh, hurtful in my life and causing me ongoing pain, aka suffering, so that I can reverse, uno reverse on that shit. Like I I want to send it back. I don't want to play that game anymore, and I would rather acknowledge the parts that are working in my relationships as well as the parts that aren't working, so that we can be on the same page about this is what we are good for and this is what is hurtful for us and frustrating for us. And it's not that we need to, in my relationship with my partner, we just had a radar check-in today. And if you know anything about multiamory or polyamory or ethical non-monogamy, you might have encountered the radar multiamory check-in list, which is just an acronym for review, agree to the agenda, discuss the agenda. So it's like all these different topic points. You talk about family, you talk about sex and health and quality time, you talk about other partners, you talk about your home life, you talk about travel, work and other projects, finances. I think I just named all of them. I think I named all of the topics that they suggest on the agenda. And then you create action steps, and then you reconnect. You like go on a date or you do something fun together. We just did one of our radar check-ins, and we have gotten better at being honest with each other when we have relational epiphanies. So while we were talking about quality time, and this is just so you can have an example. While we were talking about quality time, we were discussing how we enjoy playing video games with each other, but only certain kinds. And every time we try playing RPGs, role playing games, like we tried playing Divinity Original Sin together, it didn't work out that well. We didn't stick to it. And then we tried playing Baldur's Gate co op together. Didn't work out that well because we have different ideas of how we want to role play. We want to get into a world and immerse ourselves in different ways. So he wants to go and be by the book. He wants to read every single thing in there. He wants to turn over every stone. I want to run around naked in there, and I want to do crazy shit, and I want to discover what happens and then go back to a previous save if I find that I really fucked some shit up. And I'm okay with not being the most optimized, and finding the best stuff. I mean, at some point I do get a little bit weird about that, where I get a little bit like, what if I missed the best fucking sword for me in this game, for what I'm trying to do in this game? But I'm okay with missing it the first time and coming back around and exploring things in a chaotic way. He wants to just like, blah. And we talked about today how this works for how we game. We can play sort of party games together, but role playing games does not work for us. And that relational epiphany created a confrontation. We had to confront each other, we had to face each other and be honest about something that wasn't working. And so to have like conflict avoidance buried within us because talking to people about what's bothering us and being honest about, I like this about you, but I don't like this about you. And that's okay. You don't have to change. And I'm not going to change either. We just change how we relate to each other, and we change what we relate to each other about. That is what confrontation is for. And that's where it gets you. When you address things that become awareness in your relationships with people that start to matter to you. So, any relational epiphanies that you've had lately, um, feel free to address them with that same mindset of, well, that just means this is what's working really well for us. And this is the space that we can live in where we can work well together. And this is a space that we need to abandon and let that part of the garden die and stop sowing those seeds and trying to water that part of the garden, because all that we're finding is that it's thorny and spiky, but not producing any fruit or flowers. It's just painful for no reason. For no reason. We're keeping it alive because it's already alive. That's not the best reason to continue to pursue something or to continue to uh, uphold and honor a part of a relationship that isn't working anymore. So I bring to you an appreciation for confrontation. And I wonder what your conflict style is. So if you have made it to the end of this video, hello, congratulations. thanks for joining me, and thanks for coming back as I return to hang out with y'all and share my epiphanies again. Um, I would love to hear about what your conflict style has been, what your attachment styles mostly are, or what they might be with different people. Have you been more anxious or avoidant or dysfunctional? Like you're just all over the place and kind of lose your mind a little bit when it comes to figuring out how you should be in relationships. I know that it's really hard for us to be social sometimes when we've had upbringings that have created like the worst social interactions. That it's like, why would I want to be social after that? Why would I want to be around people after that? I would love to hear about your experiences if you feel vulnerable enough to share in the comments. And I would also love to just point out that I do card readings. So if you enjoy and appreciate the way that I am honest and transparent and firm about what I believe is the right way to go about growth and healing, so that we're doing it honestly and not bypassing the hard parts, but also doing it gently and compassionately and softly with sensitivity toward our sensitivities, because we also deserve that too. Then you can look in the caption for my Zoom scheduler, and you can schedule a card reading with me so that we can really focus on your relationships. I have a wonderful spread that one of my friends just used on me because I needed a reading so bad about my sister and I. We're we're going through it right now. Well, I am at least. And I was just like, I don't know what to do about this, and I don't know how far to take like the sort of spiritual reaching out to my guides and saying, "Hey, can y'all talk to her guides? Because I don't think we're working right now." And my friend did a reading for me that I have been doing for other people for many years. And I didn't realize that she took the spread and has been sharing it with other people, which I love because it's not predictive, as in, like, your relationship now in the present is like this. And in the future, here's what I see happening. Like, that's not the kind of card readings that we do. That's not the kind of psychic that I am, or the kind of psychics that I surround myself with. The relationship reading that I do is, how do you see this person right now? How does this person see you right now? What are your obstacles to meeting the highest potential that you have in your relationship together? And then in the middle of that spread is, what is your highest potential? Now, you can do this reading for yourself. I just gave you the spread. How you see them, how they see you, highest potential in the middle, and then y'all's obstacles. Your obstacles to meeting the highest potential, their obstacles to meeting the highest potential. And then you can find out a few relational epiphanies yourself. And maybe through seeing the obstacles and the highest potential that y'all have together, figure out where you might need a little bit of confrontation, where you might need to confront some things with more honesty than you might have been giving it in the past, out of fear or out of habit, whichever, it doesn't matter. Because if you love somebody unconditionally and you want them in your life and you want to connect deeply with them, you're going to do what you can to first take care of yourself. Okay, always make sure that when the life raft is thrown to you, that you hug it before going and saying, no, you first, no, you first, just drowning over here, this the same principle as you put your oxygen mask on before you put somebody else's on. But also, we do our best for ourselves so that we can do better for each other. And if you want to love other people better, some of these relational epiphanies can show you the way. So whether or not you want to use the relationship spread that I just told you about, or you would like me to do it for you and we can talk about it and I can share it in a really loving, gentle, but firm and honest way so you can get the clarity and the confirmation really nailed down and have some maybe even mental action steps to walk away with so that you gain confidence in how to confront things. I mean, I'm here for it. I would love to do that for you and with you because I believe that not only are you deserving of all the love you desire, but you have the power within yourself to make all of the changes that you need to make and that need to be made in your life for you to achieve the life that you desire. You deserve it. And I love it for you. So check out that Zoom scheduler in my caption. And I'm also going to be hosting some events coming up. So be on the lookout for that as well because I am not sure through which portal I'm going to start doing it. I've started to be on Substack and I'm thinking maybe if I just have people who are subscribed to my Substack that I'll drop like the Zoom links for events and then you don't have to pay per event. You can just follow me and get to join every event as you see fit and as you have time for. And then I could also record them and make like the private links available in the subscriptions. I'm still working on it, as you can see, because Patreon isn't feeling that good for me anymore. Um, so I'm figuring it out, but I would love, as I'm figuring it out, for you to tell me what feels good for you. Are you on Substack? Are you into that kind of thing? Do you like writing? Do you like video content? What are you into? Because those are the two that I'm shooting for. But also, there are so many possibilities, and I'm open. I'm not open to everything, but I'm open to everything. I love you so much. You're deserving of all the love you desire. I hope you like this video if you liked this video. And please do subscribe because I would love to see you again. Mwah! Have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day, my beauties, my beauty babies, my beautiful babies.